Good afternoon, everyone. I am Fai Hisang and let me introduce my teammates, Frankie, Karen, Inami, and Akram. Today, we will explore the role of sustainable farming in reducing agriculture carbon footprint. Agriculture contributes about 80% of global greenhouse gases, mainly from methane, nitrous oxide, and carbon dioxide emission. As food demand increases, so does the environmental impact. The problem we are addressing is how can sustainable farming effectively reduce this footprint and what are the main challenges to adoption. Our objectives are to measure the carbon footprint of agriculture, especially through food waste management, asset soil conservation role in lowering emissions, identify effective waste strategy, and evaluate technology such as anaerobic digestion in maximizing greenhouse gas reduction. Through this video, we will discuss specific sustainable practices, innovation, and waste methods like composting and renewable biogas, aiming to present a sustainable way to make agriculture greener. So, Frankie, in your opinion, which farming practices do you think contribute the most to agriculture carbon footprint? Livestock, fertilizer, or land use changes?
Okay, thank you, Farid. In my research, the agriculture contributes 80% of global greenhouse gas emissions, with agri-food system adding up to 31% of global emissions. Livestock is a major emitter, producing methane through digestion, while the use of synthetic fertilizer generates nitrous oxide. These gases are potent. Methane has a global warming potential 38 times that of carbon dioxide, and nitrous oxide is 265 times more potent. Additionally, the land use changes like deforestation for agriculture expansion also exacerbate the emission also. So Clarence, which do you think is more challenging to reduce emissions from livestock or from fertilizer, and why?
I think both are tough, but reducing fertilizer use may be harder since it's integral to most modern farming systems. However, improving nutrients management could help.
Indeed, the sustainable farming practices can address these challenges. Let's look at how specific practices like no-till farming and cover cropping can reduce emissions.
All right, thank you. So, sustainable farming practices help mitigate agriculture's carbon footprint. No-till farming reduces soil disturbance, preserving soil carbon. Studies how that no-till can reduce carbon emissions by up to 1.3 billion tons of CO2 globally. Cover crops like legumes fix nitrogen in the soil, reducing the need for synthetic fertilizers, which emit nitrous oxide. Moreover, crop rotation promotes soil health and helps sequester carbon. Okay, so Akan, which of these sustainable practices, no-till, cover cropping, or crop rotation, do you think is the most feasible to implement on large scale, and why?
I think no-till farming could be the easiest to implement broadly, especially with government incentives and the growing interest in soil health.
Yeah, great points. But sustainable farming isn't just about practices, it's also about innovation. Let's explore how technology can help.
Technology is a key enabler of sustainable farming. Precision farming uses IoT sensors and drones to monitor soil moisture, weather patterns, and crop health. This technology helps farmers apply water, fertilizer, and pesticides more efficiently, reducing waste and emissions. For example, automated irrigation systems only apply water when needed, cutting down on water usage by up to 50%, which reduce energy and emissions from irrigation systems. Now, do you think small-scale farmers can adopt these technologies, or are they only for large operations? What do you think, Nini?
I think small farms can benefit too. When With the right subsidies and training, small farmers could use these tools to improve efficiency and sustainability.
Exactly. Plus, integrating renewables energy sources like solar and wind on farms can reduce reliance on fossil fuels, further lowering emissions.
Okay, food waste is another key issue in reducing agriculture's carbon footprint. Food waste in landfills generate methane, but through composting, anaerobic digestion, and donation, we can reduce emissions. Anaerobic digestion not only reduces methane, but also produce biogas, a renewable energy source. The donation of surplus food also prevents emission from waste while feeding those in need. So, what do you think is the most effective way to manage food waste, composting, and aerobic digestion or donation?
I think each method has its benefits. Composting and anaerobic digestion reduce emission, while food donation help reduce waste and fight hunger.
Great insights. Now let's wrap up by looking at how these sustainable practices contribute to a greener future. To reduce agriculture's carbon footprint, we suggest adopting technology like precision agriculture, IoT sensors, and renewable energy to optimize resources and reduce emissions. We also recommend using regenerative practices such as crop rotation, cover cropping, and reduced tillage to improve soil health and increase carbon sequestration. Additionally, policy support is vital. Government should provide subsidies for sustainable practices like conservation tillage, organic farming, and renewable energy adoption. Lastly, managing food waste through anaerobic digestion and composting can reduce emissions and generate renewable biogas.
Alright, in conclusion, sustainable agriculture is a powerful tool in reducing agricultural carbon footprint. Practices like no-till farming, smart technology, and food well management can significantly reduce emission and enhance soil health, contributing to a more resilient agricultural system. So, Clarence, what do you think is the bigger barrier to widespread adoption of sustainable farming practices? Policy, technology, or education?
I think policy support is key. Governments need to incentives and need to provide incentives and financial support for farmers to transition to sustainable methods.
That's right. The transition to sustainable farming requires a combined effort from government, farmer, and consumer. Together, we can reduce agricultural carbon footprint and ensure a healthy, more sustainable planet. To sum up, adopting sustainable farming practices is crucial to reducing emissions, improving soil health, and ensuring future food security. Let's all continue supporting sustainable agriculture, whether through policy, education, or action in our own community. Thank you for being part of this important conversation.